How do you measure mental health?
Gosh, there have been so many attempts to try and measure mental health, and I think data is powerful. It's a complement to the clinical conversation, that kind of in the room conversation, and it's a complement to the coach's eye. Coach knows their athletes. They can see her, they can see him and say, something's up. There are some biometric data that give us insights into the psychology of our athletes. So HRV could be one of them, kind of trending HRV data, sleep quality, some recovery curves based on different methodologies of like calculating what recovery might be. There's some real neat data on like force plates and like jumping and how much sway we have as we stand on a force plate. These give us some insights into what we might call like a vestibular recovery. Is the body and the brain syncing up well, or are they really tired and gassed? But that doesn't get great insight into the actual mental health or mental performance of our athletes. And so one way we try and get after that at the academy is what we call an RPE, rate of perceived exertion. We ask our athletes to complete on their phones an RPE. We ask a lot of questions about mental health. So, hey, you just went through a training phase in practice, and how cognitively taxing was this practice? So
Hmm.
maybe they're loading in new set pieces or new plays. Maybe coach is really getting after them. Why were you there, and where should you have been? We also ask, how emotionally taxing was this? Maybe it was a game or practice. How emotionally taxing? We're asking questions about sleep quality, not just quantity. So, how many hours you slept is important, but how rested did you feel when you woke up that morning? And then when we get that data built over time, we start to have a nice little like kind of fluctuation or longitudinal data that shows us the ebbs and the flow of how an athlete might feel throughout a season, throughout a year. And when we see some nuance in between there, some changes to what we might expect, it's a great time for us to just check in on them and say, hey, how you doing today? Let's do a check in, see how things go. There's a couple other measures we may use, but some more specific um, uh, instruments that ask questions about performance anxiety, ask about return to
Right.
play. So if we have an athlete on like an ACL recovery, how confident are you that you can post and pivot on that leg? And those all just load into this larger picture.
Do you collect that for with all the athletes at the academy? Is that every
Hmm.
sport? Every
Yeah, we
practice,
do.
every game?
Yeah, Megan, we do. Now, different sports based on the need of the sport, the demands of the sport, or the size of the team, and Megan, coach buy-in. Different teams have a different level of engagement, but yes, we are always gathering data on all of our athletes across all teams.